Here we are. Hello again, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm locked down, but good.
Yes, yeah, it's difficult times at the moment, to say the least.
And it's snowing as well today, so
It is, yeah, although not currently here in Southend. It was when I was in Colchester, but not currently in Southend.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit testing. Driving through the elements on the way here.
Yeah,
I think I went through about 3 different countries on the way here.
Like that one behind you.
Yes, yeah, some Tibetan mountain range. But obviously, so last time we spoke about various motivating factors around running businesses, and we spoke afterwards in terms of different topics we could speak about. And the first one on the list was sales team versus sales group.
Yeah.
Which one is which?
Yeah.
So obviously, I know you've got your view on it, and other people will have their views and everything else. So I think we'll start off by saying, what's your opinion on whether it's a sales team or a sales group?
I think dealers and managers, they spend a lot of time with their salespeople trying to create a team, and I'm not convinced that they are a team, or that even they need to be a team. So I'm just interested to kind of throw that in and see what your view is on whether you've got a team of people or whether you've got a group of people that work together, and if there is a difference.
So yeah, so interesting enough, you know, in our conversations previously, obviously privately, we spoke about various views on this, and I think it really depends on the setting that sales, you know, in what it is. So I think if it's something where, whether it be telesales inbound or outbound in terms of a call center, I think it becomes more of a sales group.
Right.
Because they're slightly more segregated. They're sat at their hubs or whatever they do, and the majority of their day-to-day business is fairly solitary. They don't, you know, have to necessarily call on too many favors from other people and things like that. I think, however, on a different level in terms of, especially in my business, I think within the dealership, I think it can be slightly different. There are definitely sales groups of people out there within dealerships, but I think there are also teams, and it's about the management getting, I think it's more of an ethos and a culture thing more than necessarily what you call it.
Yeah. My question is that if I'm a salesperson, doing 150 cars a year, say, am I reliant on those other people that sell cars with me? So the other 4 or 5 people, am I reliant on them as I would be as part of a sports team or a football team?
In the day-to-day sales of you selling a car, probably not. But if you have a day off, or you've pulled a car off the used car forecourt or out the showroom or anything, and it comes to the old adage, straight lines sell cars, we've all seen it. If you haven't got the support of the other people around you and you work as a team, you're not going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, because you're going to need their support, you know, all the time. Here, for instance, so, you know, I've got to get this car out to do a video on it. Can you do me a favor? Can you move these couple of cars in front so I can get this out? And can you line me up back on the front? So, yeah, so we're not blessed here with site coordinators or drivers, so it's self-managed, the full court and the showroom and everything. And in that respect, we do need the other people. because you're not going to be able to get there, or certainly get there as quick as you would with everyone, you know, with everyone else pulling their weight and giving you a dig out behind you.
I think that there's something that maybe we do overlook a bit within what we do, because I think there's kind of a bigger team. So if I'm a sales guy, there are people that I am reliant on. So I'm reliant on you as my sales manager. So I can't sell a car without you. I'm reliant on the technician. I'm reliant on the service advisor and probably the service manager. And I'm reliant on admin. So I've got all those people that I can't sell a car without them. So I think that should be my team. I think it's more cross-functional than we realise as people working as a salesperson anyway, working in a dealer, and there is in fact a team there, and unfortunately in lots of businesses in our industry that breaks down. That other department thing is a bit broken, and that's what makes the job even harder, doesn't it?
Yeah,
for sales guys.
So that's one massive thing, especially within dealerships that I've worked in the past, is that sales department don't particularly speak to service department and vice versa. I think here, especially where I am at Skoda Southend, that's not the case. We work sort of in unison together, because everyone can see everyone. I can see the service manager from where he sits. He can see me. We can talk, and it's quite open. But there are dealerships that don't have that, the unity between the two departments. And it's interestingly, when I take new sales executives on, especially with the people that I've taken on here, and we're lucky that our staff turnover is very, very low.
Yeah,
there's effectively, in my view, two people you don't hack off, and one of them's your administrator, because you're going to need some favours a lot of the time, and the service advisors or workshop controllers, because trust me, you're going to need them a lot more than they're going to need you.
Yeah.
And that's, if you can keep them on side, then it makes your job a lot easier.
Yeah. So just to round up, Nathan, you mentioned about the kind of ethos you've got where you work. How'd you get that? How can you create that kind of
I think the attitude of people you employ is key. And it's really, sometimes it can be really difficult to get that attitude out of those people in interview or beforehand or everything else. But if you're a half decent judge of character, then you can take little nuggets from the questions that you ask them. And half of the battle is that person going to fit within our are they capable and able to do the job that they're going to be employed to do, and are they going to buy into the company ethos, which is massive across all big industries now, not just the motor trade. Are they buying into what they're working for? Once you get that, I think the rest of it naturally follows. I think it naturally follows.
I think you're right around getting the right people. I remember reading a book, and one of the things that stuck in my mind was they were talking about bringing people in and what questions we ask. And they said there's three things you must find out, and that is, are they humble? So is everything about them, or is it more about us? Are they hungry? In other words, do they want to work? It doesn't mean they want to steal deals off each other, but do they want to work? Do they want to do business? Do they want to earn money? And then the last one is, are they smart? And they said, when we say smart, it means that they're smart with people. Can they get on with people? And I think those three things, historically, we haven't always looked for when we bring people in the industry generally. And we've created some kind of rifts in teams of people or groups of people, depending on where you work. Nathan, see what I did there?
I like that,
Either
yeah.
groups or teams, and it affects performance. So, yeah, it's really interesting. Really interesting your viewpoint and how you work in Southend. There, it sounds like a good place to work to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that I work really hard on, and I'm very conscious of my people management. And I think I alluded to it on our last conversation, is that I can't get to where I want to be, or in fact where I need to be, with every single person I work with. I can't do it. I can't sell all the cars that my dealership needs to sell. I can't service all the cars. I can't see all the customers in. So, you know, I'm very mindful of creating that environment where everyone is a massive cog, you know, in the machine. I'm just here to keep it well oiled and to steer it and to point it in the right direction.
Yeah.
And, you know, 2020 and 2021, listen, massive challenges. And some people working remotely and everything else, it is massively hard at the moment. But I think with the right people, and thankfully I have the right people around me, we will get to where we need to be.
Right.
Question I wanted to ask you just before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Is for those managers or aspiring managers that are watching, when they come to create their brand as such around the type of culture and people they want in their business, how do they identify whether they have a sales team or a sales group?
I think largely it's a look at what you've got and what you want. I think you can create a team that is a team where they are interdependent on each other, and they're interdependent by way of what they do. So I suppose if you look at a sales team, if you say that your business manager is part of the sales team, then the salespeople need that business manager to do their job. So what else is there that people can specialize in? And if you look at people's specialities based around their behavior, you know, you've got people that are quite analytical. Some of your team will be analytical. So maybe they're the right person for the straight lines or anything to do in numbers. And then you've got some people will be quite creative. So they might be the right person to think about, well, how are we going to get more customers in? How can we do a prospecting event that's a bit different that we can all get involved in, but we can use my ideas to do that. You might have someone who's really good at asking the right question, you know, the killer question. You know, a lot of people shy away from the close, don't they? So you might have someone who could help people with closing. And then you'll have someone who's really good at building relationships. You'll have people that may be, you know, I remember there was a time when people experimented with having a meter and greeter in the business, and they'd be the right sort of person to do that. But there's also, I suppose, in that as well, I don't know if you have them, Product Genius. So those Product Genius. Pardon?
I have Product Genius here, yeah.
Yeah, so there'd be a certain type of person as well. So I think that if we, and I'm not suggesting that everyone would do this, because some people would think, well, I'm happy with the group of people as long as they all sell me 150, 160 cars a year. I'm happy with that. But you can actually get more out of a team. So where you get people working for and with each other, you can generate more. So, but to do that, you've got to treat them like a team. So you have to get them together. You have to get them to collaborate and talk to each other and communicate. So I think that's the challenge. If you want a group, deal with them one-to-one. If you want a team, bring people together, get them working together, or maybe even when we can do it, out of work together as well. Not every night, but you know, once a quarter, go out together, have a bit of a celebration on what you've done for the quarter. But it largely depends on you, the manager, and I guess the culture in the business as well, because a lot of managers come into the business from outside and they're joining a new culture, and eventually kind of they mold to it or they leave, you know, one of those two. So, but if you can create your own culture, then you decide. But I'd always suggest you're better with a team than with individuals or a group, because teams outperform individuals always.
And that's always been the case, isn't it? And you can all work together and achieve your individual goals, then the company goals and everything else soon follow suit. Mark, it's been fantastic speaking to you this morning.
Yeah, you too.
Hopefully people watching this and the viewers have gained something out of it. I like to think that we are helping someone out there along their way to greatness. Obviously, we'll schedule in a next.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What are we going to cover next time round?
Snow. I think we should talk about snow.
No, yeah, I'll adjust this background and I'll get in the Alps.
Yeah, I was thinking about, should we talk about delegation next time?
Delegation. Let me write that down before I.
Get someone else to write it down for you.
Yeah, they're all at the back having breakfast.
Yeah.
But,
Great to see you, Nathan.
Yeah. So next time around we'll talk about delegation.
Yeah, let's do that.
Some techniques and the art of delegation, because not everyone approaches it in the same way.
Brilliant.
Mark, it's been fantastic, and we'll
have a good weekend.
You too. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye.